Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So if you just Google and find out what is time and material pricing, meaning, time and material pricing is used in the service and construction industry. So normally it is being used in a service industries, okay? To bill customers for a standard labor rate per hour used plus actual cost of materials used. So you are charging the customers, you are charging your client based on the labor rate. So you are looking at the labor rate. That means based on time or based on hours. So that's why the name is time. And then plus the actual cost of materials used. So that's why time and materials pricing. So you charge based on the labor as well as the material. So the standard labor rate per hour being billed does not necessarily relate to the underlying cost of the labor. Instead, it may be based on the market rate for the service of someone having a certain skill set or the cost of labor plus a designated profit percentage. So you have seen just now, you look at the charge of the labor, how much is the cost of labor plus a certain amount of profit. Okay, a certain amount of profit that you have determined. So, thus a computer technician may bill out at 100 ringgit per hour while costing 30 ringgit per hour, while a cable television mechanic may only bill out at 80 ringgit per hour despite costing the same amount per hour. So it depends, right? Based on the company, they want to charge the hours. And then the cost of materials charged to the customer is for any materials actually used during the performance of service for the customers. Uh, okay, so for the material, now you charge based on the cost of material that you have incurred. But normally you will add a certain amount of profit, okay, a certain amount of markup. So this cost may be at the supplier's actual cost. So that means how much the cost of your material. If you purchase the material, let's say the cost is 3,000. So you can charge the customers at 3,000. But if let's say you want to charge higher, you want to add a certain amount of percentage or a certain amount of markup. So you will charge your client based on the actual cost of the material plus a certain markup cost. So that could include a fee for the overhead costs associated with ordering, handling, and holding the materials in stock. Okay, so you may charge your customers based on the additional cost. So that will be your material loading charge that we have seen before. So what is the meaning of material loading charge? So material loading charge covers the cost of purchasing, receiving, handling and storing of your materials plus any desired profit margin on the materials themselves. Okay, so that is basically what is the time and material pricing. So you look at why the name is time, because you include the labor cost, and the labor cost is based on hours or time, and then you also charge your material, so that will be your material loading charge. So you add all these two together, then if let's say you have a certain a job, then you will charge based on these two pricing, time and material pricing. So if you look at your textbook, time and material pricing, so this one, under this approach, the company sets two pricing rates. Okay, one for labor and the other one is for the material. And the material charge is based on the material loading charge, right? So time and material pricing, okay, normally being used in the service industries, professional firms, public accounting, engineers, consulting firms, and so on. Okay, so we have seen just now the example. So this one is the time charge. This one is the material loading charge. Because why the name is material loading charge? It includes the, hold on. So it includes the cost of purchasing, receiving, handling and storing materials plus any desired profit margin on the materials themselves. So that is your material loading charge. So there are basically three steps. So the first step is you need to calculate the labor rate. So that is the first step. You calculate the labor rate. So in this case, you already calculated your labor rate as 38.2. And then the second step is you calculate the material loading charge. So you calculate the material loading charge. So in this case, you already calculated your material loading charge as 43.5. So you've got, because you want to add a certain amount of profit, 20% just now. So based on this one, 23.5, you add another 20%, so you will get 43.5. That is your material loading charge. And then only you calculate the charge for a particular job. So you calculate the charge of that particular job is based on the labor plus the material. So you've got the total price of labor and material. So included in the 7076 price quotation for the boat repair are charges for the labor cost, overhead cost, material handling and storing cost, and a profit margin on both labor and parts. Okay. So the time and material price quotation covers cost for parts and labor, as well as the desired profit margins on parts and labor. Parts means the material. Okay, so that's basically how you make a quotation, or you want to charge, or you want to find the selling price for a particular job. So that is another way of determining the price. So far we have looked into three methods into determining the price. One is called the target costing, the second one is the cost plus pricing, and the third one is the time and material pricing. Okay, with that, I thank you.